Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin with breaking news as another retirement home in Fargo has confirmed that a resident has tested positive for COVID-19. In a release, Bethany Retirement Living confirmed that someone living in their 42nd Street facility has contracted the disease. They also said that their University Drive location remains clear. The company says it's working with the North Dakota Department of Health to determine the next steps. North Dakota's governor says the state isn't where it needs to be in regard to stopping the spread of the coronavirus. Governor Doug Burgum extended the business closure by an additional 10 days until April 30th, which is unwelcome news for some local establishments. Valley News Team's Alexandra Kay has reaction.
Bars, restaurants, gyms, they can count on keeping their doors closed a while longer, following Governor Doug Burgum's decision to extend closures of certain businesses until April 30th.
We're biting the bullet. We're doing what we can do and offering takeout for everybody.
Larry Hogger, manager of Pub West, says the initial change a month ago took some getting used to.
That's been the biggest challenge, is getting everything set up for takeout and that's all we're doing.
While bars and restaurants have the option to focus their attention on takeout, some gyms have had to completely reinvent their business plan.
The first 4 weeks of this process, we may not have had doors open, but it was almost more exhausting, more mentally exhausting, going through trying to figure out what can we do for our clients to keep them engaged.
For Brad Nordstrom, the owner of a West Fargo gym, another day being closed is the potential for another client loss. In the meantime, Nordstrom says they've put the workout classes online to try to keep things as normal as possible.
I'm ready to get rolling. I'm ready to get back to some type of normalcy, whatever that normalcy may be. It's not going to be the norm that we know. It's going to be a new norm, but we can do that here.
As for Hogger, he says he can't wait for Pub West's patio to be filled.
All I've heard is, we miss our customers so much.
With all businesses keeping in mind, there's no promise that closure restrictions will be lifted on April 30th. In Fargo, Alexandra Kay, Valley News Live.
Governor Burgum says the business closures will be reassessed in a few weeks. North Dakota has had its largest change with regard to the number of people that have increased in coronavirus. It remains at 9. Health officials say that there are 36 new cases. That brings the total down to 365, and 142 have recovered from the virus. The majority of the new cases are in Cass and Grand Forks counties. The Minnesota death toll is still on the rise. 8 more fatalities have been reported, bringing Minnesota's total to 87. State health officials are reporting a total now of 1,809 cases. 197 people are in the hospital, and 93 of them are in the ICU. 970 people are listed as recovered. Non-essential businesses in Minnesota are bombarding Governor Tim Walz's administration with requests to open their doors again as a stay-at-home order continues because of the pandemic. The governor recently extended that order until at least May 4th, but says his administration will look at exemptions for more businesses over the coming weeks. President Donald Trump says that he believes the data suggests that we have passed the peak on new cases of coronavirus. The president says this puts the country in a strong position moving forward, even saying that states will now begin to discuss how and when to reopen the economy.
These encouraging developments have put us in a very strong position to finalize guidelines for states on reopening the country, which we'll be announcing. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow.
During today's briefing, President Trump also said that he wants to provide another $250 billion in loans for small businesses. Checks are starting to show up in bank accounts from the stimulus package signed 2 weeks ago. If you haven't gotten yours and are eligible, don't worry, it's coming. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie talked with experts about what you need to do and when you can expect your money.
With the coronavirus pandemic creating financial hardships for millions, the $1,200 checks and more for some are welcomed with relief. For Shane Cardoza and Andrew Brower, the money will help deal with everyday bills like food, rent, and utilities.
I have to have money because I got a wife, I pay bills, and I got a little girl.
My roommate got one last night, so I was hoping I would get it sometime by Friday. Apparently, if you filed your taxes online, they direct deposit it to your account. Any unforeseen money definitely helps.
For others, these are nervous times as they wait for their check to come.
Some people continue to, they live paycheck to paycheck, and they need to get their stimulus checks as soon as possible.
If you still haven't filed your taxes, here's what you need to do ASAP. The IRS launched a portal where you can submit your bank information to get your check. The size of that check is going to depend on how much you make. For those of you that don't use direct deposit, you're gonna have to be patient. It could take up to 20 weeks before you see that paper check in your mailbox. One more thing, you can track your payment with the IRS Get My Payment tool. Just enter your social security number and the mailing address on your last tax return to see the status of your check. In Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
And for more information on how you can get your check, we have links on Valley News Live's app. Coronavirus is hitting North Dakota oil producers hard. A top state oil regulator estimates that thousands of wells have been idled as the U.S. oil industry crashed during the outbreak. Lynn Helms says that companies have shut in 4,600 wells since the start of March. That's about 260,000 barrels per day of oil. Operators are temporarily idling wells that produce smaller quantities of oil, in addition to wells that flare large amounts of natural gas. And Helms says that even more rigs will stop drilling for oil in North Dakota. Police have now identified the victim of a deadly fire in Grand Forks as 63-year-old Charles Currier. His body was found last night in his trailer at 2461 Easterbrook Drive in Grand Forks. The fire was discovered after a neighbor notified police that Currier had not been seen for several days. During a welfare check, police found evidence of a fire in one section inside the home. Investigators say it looked like it happened sometime over the past few days. They say at this point there is no evidence of foul play, but they are asking anyone with information on Currier or the fire to contact authorities. You've probably seen it all over your social media feeds, your Facebook friends posting their senior photos in support of 2020 seniors impacted by the coronavirus. The Better Business Bureau is warning you to sit this one out to protect yourself from hackers.
Our graduation ceremony year or the high school name or the city we grew up in, that information is sometimes and oftentimes our user and passwords.
Vang adds, if you've already participated in the challenge, it's not too late to take down your post. You should still go in and change any passwords or security questions that could be compromised. Some drivers in North Fargo can expect to return to their normal route tomorrow morning. The North Broadway Red River Bridge is set to reopen Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Officials say that this is due to receding river levels. You can find a full list of closures on fargostreets.com. Fargo's Mayor Tim Mahoney says you can be fined up to $1,000 for violating social distancing rules. This comes after the Fargo Park District closed all playgrounds to help stop the spread of coronavirus. According to Fargo Cass Public Health, the area is expecting a surge in COVID-19 cases in the next few weeks.
People are asking, when do you get businesses going again? And we want to make absolutely sure we've gone through the peak and are on the downhill slide before we get too aggressive on releasing some of those restrictions.
Mayor Mahoney says he expects people to wear face masks for the next month. The Clay County Sheriff's Department is being neighborly. Deputies are willing to deliver groceries and medicine to rural residents who may be at risk for COVID-19. They're offering to make drop-offs to the doorsteps at the time. Absolutely no contact, however. They say it's the least that they can do for a community that has had their back all this time.
They've always supported us in very good ways, so we're just trying to take care of our community and kind of pay back what they've done for us.
The deliveries are available Monday through Friday for food and groceries all over Clay County for those 60 and over who are at high risk. If you need help, call the Clay County Records Office.